Tex actually missed the cowboy life, and he wanted to get back to it. The house he'd rented sat on the other side of town from the ranch where he'd grown up, and he suddenly decided to drive by the farmhouse he'd known so well. "How are you feeling? Need to use the bathroom? Can we drive by the farmhouse?" "Sure," Bryce said. "I'm good." Tex watched the new developments pass by the window, and he saw several unfamiliar restaurants along this extension of Main Street. "Looks like some great new places to eat," he said, "even since April." "Let's try 'em all," Bryce said, referring to a summer he and Tex had spent together a few years ago, where they'd tried as many new restaurants as they could, in as many towns and cities as possible. "Deal," Tex said with a smile. He passed the road that led back to the high school, then City Hall, then the library. Tex couldn't remember the last book he'd read, and he'd wonder if he should make a list of things he wanted to try this summer. Reading would go on it. Getting back to his cowboy roots would, too. Writing a new song, getting and riding a new horse, and hiking would definitely be on it. "Maybe we should make a summer list," he said, glancing over to his son. "Things we haven't done in a while we want to do, or things around Coral Canyon we can't do anywhere else. Like the balloon festival." "Yeah," Tex said, grinning. "Like that." "Grandpa said there's a police dog academy here," Bryce said, "and they do tours." "We'll look it up when we get to the house." Tex made another turn, and the road led past a couple of office buildings, and then the residential part of Coral Canyon opened up. The houses along these streets sat fairly close together, and the farther they got from the historic Main Street, the more land surrounded the houses. "Did you like growing up here?" Bryce asked. "Yeah," Tex said, sighing. "We had a pond right on the property. We could ride our bikes anywhere. Dad let us go fishing every Sunday after church." He grinned at his son. It was an easy, slow life. He had liked it, and the tender part of his heart longed for that life again. He'd stepped back from Country Quad to do exactly that, hadn't he? Relax more, travel less, find a community to belong to. He had, and his chest swelled with another breath, which he blew out slowly. It was a good life. He looked at his son again. "What happened in Boise to make you want to leave everything you've known and come do your senior year here?" His dad had always shot straight with him, and Tex wasn't doing his son any favors by not making him talk. He'd stayed in touch with his son over the years, but Tex wouldn't label himself a good father. He could talk to his son, and he'd given him advice, but he hadn't been involved in the day-to-day parenting the way his ex-wife had. He knew that had been a major source of annoyance to Corey, the woman he'd been married to for only 2 years before that marriage had dissolved. He was actually looking forward to this summer, and this year, and all of this time off. While he still had an album to make for his record label, he would finally be able to dedicate time and energy to Bryce, and they'd talked about this year a lot already on the drive here from Boise. "Mom, she's been saying some things." Tex kept his gaze out the windshield. "What kind of things?" "Lots of stuff," he said. "When she said she had to put her whole life on hold to have me and she couldn't wait to do what she wanted, I got pretty mad at her. There was sort of a blow-up." Tex didn't know what to say. He was always the brother who observed and listened before he spoke. His chest stormed and his stomach turned inside out. "She loves you," he said. "She told me she hated being a mom," Bryce said. "That's when I called you." Tex whipped his attention to Bryce, suddenly all of his listening skills gone. "She did not say that. She said she wished she'd never had kids." Bryce kept his gaze out the window. "It's fine. I don't believe her. And I know she's been stressed." "About what?" Tex demanded, trying to keep his grip on the steering wheel loose and his temper in check. He wasn't the young brother who went from 0 to annoyed in 1 second.